Hey, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening again. I want to welcome you guys back to the Conversation 9-8. And hey, back at it again. I'm truly excited to be back before you guys today. Looking forward to today's conversation. Not only that I'm looking forward to today's conversation, but I'm happy today. The weekend, I'm got my granddaddy hat on, got my grandkids, so won't be before you long because they are doing what kids do as a 3 and a 1 year old do right now. So shout out to my baby girl. She here with them. And I just wanted to get on with this conversation, get in, have a real good conversation. It's going to be a pretty straightforward conversation today. It's a lot of it's a straightforward conversation. That just what it really boils down to. I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you guys tune in. Let me know what you think and interact. Let me know where you're watching from because tonight this is a show that I think can hit home for a lot of us, and hopefully it's relevant to a lot of people. So football season is going on, got a lot of things going on, and I ain't gonna hold anybody up, but I just wanted to make sure that I get this out and share this, and we can get on with the discussions for today. But still, man, I appreciate everybody sharing this with a few people, and then we'll get right on to the topic for tonight. But I'm enjoying the weather as things cooling down a little bit as we transition. So I'm enjoying that. But with all of that being said, we're gonna go get right on into it. Tonight, what we're talking about is many times the problem is you, but you don't want to acknowledge it and change. And I say that again, the problem is many times the problem is us. We are the root of the problems or a lot of the issues that we face in our lives. And the problem lies with us. It's not with other people. And it's easy for us to try to find fault with other people because that's a natural thing. Anytime, and we can go back to biblical times, when Adam was held accountable, and anytime that there's accountability, we like to point the blame. When God came back to Adam and asked him, basically what happened after they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, Adam was like, hey, the woman you gave me. So Adam pointed blame. But we naturally don't like to take accountability. We naturally, we know we're the problem, but we do everything in our power to try to find ways to justify us being the problem. And the only thing we really have to do is just acknowledge it and do the work to change. And we'll see that we'll become better people by doing it. We'll just simply become better. There is no other way around it. And it's not a bad thing. And I don't want people to sit down and think about it as being a bad thing. But yeah, that's what it is. Because many times we are the problem. We are. And one of the funny things is a lot of times we know we're the problem, but we are so keen on trying to find something to justify our behavior, to justify us not changing. We know what we're doing. We know the faults. We know our own faults. We know how it may be impacting the situations. Sometimes we may not, but a lot of time, most of the time we do. But then we will sit there and try to find ways to justify it instead of just acknowledging what the role we playing in and then just doing the work to change. Because that's really what it boils down to. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science. It's not. But we be knowing we wrong. Like even as a child, you don't even have to tell a child they wrong. You can call their name. They'll look at you and they know what they did wrong. But there are a lot of, guess what? They try to push the limits. And we all try to do that. We all try to push the limits to see what we can get away with. And the reality is most of the times we be dead wrong and causing chaos in our own lives, but refuse to, our pride will keep us from acknowledging and making the change. Pride will keep us from that. And we were dead. I'm talking about 100% know we dead wrong. We'll know we wrong and then won't say nothing about it. Oh, not even say nothing about it. We know we wrong. And this is one of the funniest things because you see it all the time. You see it all of the time. One of the funniest things that you will see with a lot of people who know they wrong, they always try to seek different people and try to present their position in a way that they can get somebody else to agree with them. Even though they know they're wrong, you can present them with what they actually did. Hey, 2 + 2, and it can be logically laid out. They will go try to find somebody else. That's why it's so easy to jump on social media right now, because everybody has an opinion, and I can present something as if I was, the one done wrong in a situation, but I never talk about it from the perspective of my actions, of what I did. I always talk about it from the perspective of what somebody else may have done, to try to get people to side with me and agree with me, so that in a sense I can feel justified for staying doing what I did, even though I know I'm wrong. And at the end of the day, no matter what, you will have to give an account for what your actions are. You will, and you can't blame nobody else. You can't. And listen, I understand this. I am not in denial. I am not in no way, shape, form, or fashion trying to act as if, what other people do to us don't impact us, because, it is a fact that what other people do to us have an impact on us. It is. And we can try to act like it don't. So somebody else can do something wrong with me, do something wrong to me, and it can impact me. And it can impact me on to the point to where it can hurt me, cause me whatever, to the point where it influences my decisions and my choices. But my decisions and my choices are my decisions and my choices, regardless of the influence. And because they are my decisions and my choices, I am going to be the one that have to give an account for my actions. And many times what we try to do is, somebody can do us wrong. We'll make a decision based off of how that made us feel, and we're making an emotional response to it. And then that can do somebody else wrong, but we try to justify it like we were right to do it. And at the same point, the same hurt somebody else caused us, we do that to other people. But now we feel justified about it, but then we want the people that hurt us to come and reconcile with it. And that's wrong. That right there is wrong. It's 100% wrong. That's hypocritical, but that's how we operate. And it's a natural thing. It's a natural thing. And I don't want people to feel any type of way about it. I don't want people to feel like that it's not a natural thing, because we all deal with it. I deal with it. I am definitely not absolved of having to deal with struggling with acknowledging or taking ownership. Many things will be, and I said this before, but many things will change, or many relationships will be mended if people could simply just take ownership of their actions. It's sad that some people are so self-centered that they don't even want to acknowledge where they did wrong at, and they try to justify it. They try to justify it based off of the stupidest stuff. They'll be doing somebody wrong, treat somebody bad, don't even consider how they talking to people or their tone, but they try to justify it by, oh, well, I do this or I did that. That still doesn't justify you doing wrong by somebody. It doesn't. It doesn't justify how you talk to people. It's still respect. And those things that many people try to do, they sit there and they try to do that, and they try to justify their wrongdoings by other people's actions that had nothing to do with them making that choice, what they made to do. And when people do that, that continue to erode those relationships. That's why a lot of relationships have failed right now, because of it. It's simply because of it. People don't want to acknowledge what they did wrong. And the sad thing is, many people don't. There's a lot of people that end up having to lose the very thing, like lose people in their lives. Sadly, people will have to pass away. Sadly, you'll lose the access that you have to something before you can really appreciate or even be willing to talk about, and not only talk about, but be willing to express the lessons that learned that you was wrong, but you knew you was wrong in the first place. But now you living with guilt because that thing that you knew you was doing wrong, and you didn't maximize the space and the time to go and make it right, or to take ownership of it and make amends on it. Now you living with the guilt, and now you sitting around upset, sad and upset, because you wishing that you had the chance to do something, that you had the opportunity, but you didn't do it. And many of us live with that every day. Many of us, we have to live with that guilt because we were too prideful to just say I was wrong when we knew we was wrong. We knew it, and nobody had to tell us. Like, nobody had to tell us. And I'm talking about these things like, and this is funny, right? This is funny. Most of the stuff people don't even think about, but many people try to feel like that their justification trumps their actions or what they did wrong. And we can easily find a justification or reason for anything, but that does not justify or make what you did right. And we know we are the problem. We know we are the one, the problem is with us. We know we got a bad attitude. We know we don't want to do something. And somebody may be holding us accountable to it. And now we want to attack them because they're trying to hold us accountable to something. And the reason why they hold us accountable is because they care about us. They genuinely care about us. And we just get mad at them. And we react out of our emotions. We react in a very immature, stupid, and ignorant way. But then want to feel like we justified for doing it, and we're never justified for it. So you're never justified for it. So I want you to understand that we will never be justified to try to justify the wrong that we have done to other people. It just won't happen. It just won't happen. The best thing to do is take ownership. Do you know, a lot of people overlook the power of taking ownership, but there's some power in you getting to a space to where you take ownership of the problem that you cause or the issue that you cause. And you will be shocked at the level of reconciliation or healing that is done when somebody that may have done something wrong to somebody genuinely take ownership of what they did and go back to make amends. And some things you can't go back and change, but you can a genuine apology, a genuine acceptance of their behavior, a genuine change in their mindset will do wonders for a lot of people. But we will sit around and try to justify it. We'll sit around and try to find a reason why. We'll sit around and just try to say, oh, well, they shouldn't have did this. Now, what did you do? Like, we got to stop that. Seriously, we have to stop that because it has eroded so many families, so many relationships have been destroyed because people simply just don't want to take ownership of their actions. They don't want to do it, and they refuse to do it. And that's sad. That's really sad. If you really think about it, that's really sad. And that's sad on so many levels. On so many levels. One of the hardest things for people to acknowledge is pride will have us lonely and on our deathbed full of regrets. All because we be knowing we wrong, man. We will willfully neglect somebody. We will willfully not do something. We will willfully omit those certain things. We will do some nasty stuff to people. We will hold personal vendettas. We will be honorary towards folks because we just don't like them. About this, that, and the third, whatever it may have been. And then when somebody do that to us, we'll have the audacity to act as if somebody did us dead wrong. But when we turn around and we want to be held, we want to hold people to a standard that we refuse to be held to. But when somebody else try to hold us to that same standard that we want to require other people to do, now we want to play victim and we want to act like somebody did us wrong. And that's straight hypocritical. But many of us are like that. Many of us are like that. We'll jump on and try to champion the standard that we run from ourselves. That's what we do. And I would tell you, and this is, from experience. I'm speaking from experience. Well, people don't like to talk about it, but it is what it is. It is emotionally, psychologically, and sometimes physically draining to be around somebody who the problem usually majority of the time is with them, but they don't want to acknowledge and change it. They sit around and try to justify it, and they try to justify it through, well, I paid this and I did that. No, you was wrong. Don't matter what you paid for. That don't give you the right to treat somebody in a disrespectful way. That don't give you the right. That doesn't give you the right because you did X, Y, and Z. That doesn't give you the right to do somebody wrong. Respect is what respect is. And if you ever cross that line of being disrespectful, then you can't turn around or do something wrong to somebody. You can't turn around and try to act like, well, I was right. I had the right to do that because of this. Like, no, this is not a business principle when you're talking about dealing with people and their emotions and how they feel. It's not. I know a lot of times we try to make it, business is business. No, some stuff when people say that, no, that's shysty, but you want to wrap it up as business. No, you being shysty. There's a lot of underhanded business practice, but people that do it and they try to say, oh, it's business. No, when you're dealing with people and their emotions and doing right by folks, at the end of the day, you're the one that got the answer for it. So you can try to keep it, you can try to spread it, you can try to do whatever you want to do, but at the end of the day, you're going to be the one that have to answer for it. But man, I would tell you guys, man, I appreciate you guys rocking with me tonight. I know a short show. Got to get back to them grandkids because I don't know, they holding up pretty good, but I don't want to be on too much longer. Hey, make sure you go and you check out me on my social media platforms. The Conversation 98 on YouTube. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. And just go make sure you like and share, man. I appreciate the support. Thank you guys for rocking with me. Episode 192 on our way to 200. You guys have a great and wonderful week. God bless.